Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Uh, my name is José Vidal González Aviña. I'm a professor at the Tecnológico de Monterrey in the Department of Sustainable and Civil Technologies. Today, I will present my research on optimizing the rheological behavior of 3D printed concrete using biopolymers. To guide today's discussion, the presentation is organized as follows. I will begin with an introduction to the 3D concrete printing and the critical role of the rheology. Next, I will describe the function of the biopolymers as a really modified agent, present the recent experimental findings, discuss the key challenge, and conclude with the potential direction for further research. This slide presents a selection of my recent publication, which provide the scientific foundation for the work discussed today. 3D concrete printing is an emerging construction technology with a transformative potential. It enables cost-efficient housing, highly customized designs, reduce the material waste, and the environmental impact. Projects around the world demonstrate that the 3D printed construction is already a practical reality. For example, in Ireland, Dubai, US, Netherlands. This example highlight that the technology can be effectively implemented on a large scale and is gaining rapid recognition within the construction sector. The 3D printing process for the concrete begins with a digital model, which is sliced and translated in the printing bed. The material is then extruded layer by layer until the structure is complete. Successful 3D printing requires concrete to behave as a fluid and a solid. It moves fluid easily through the pump and the nozzle while quickly stiffening after the deposition to support subsequent layers. Achieving this balance between the flowability and buildability is a primary technical challenge in the 3D concrete printing, where the admixture play a crucial role. In this context, the admixtures are designed to control this fluid to solid transition. When designing this admixture, we also need to consider sustainability, availability, and scalability factors that are essential for industrial adoptions. Biopolymer, in particular, offer promising solution in this regard, and in the following slides, we will explore their role and recent innovations in detail. Now that we understand the importance of the rheology in 3D concrete printing, let's turn our attention to biopolymers. Biopolymers are natural polymers derived from plants, animal, and microorganisms. Their molecular structure enables them to interact with cement particles and water, influencing the rheological behavior of the cement-based materials. The table presents a selection of biopolymers that have been incorporated into concrete technology, together with the corresponding material properties they have been shown to influence. The use of biopolymers can offer multiple benefits, such as improving the stability of different concrete, maintaining the layer geometry, and enhancing the interlayer bonding. They also help reduce the drain shrinkage and the bleeding. From a sustainability perspective, biopolymers are renewable and commonly available and often more cost-effective than synthetic mixer, making them an attractive option for industrial applications. In this study, we evaluate several biopolymers: young kelp extract, locust bean gum, almond gum, Astrakan gum, each with different production volumes and material cost. We also include two common biopolymers, Welland gum and wire gum, to compare our result with the standard industry admixtures. Significant variation exists in the molecular structure of this biopolymer. Some are non-ionic, such as wire gum and locust bean gum, containing hydroxyl groups that promote the water retention through the hydrogen bonding and allow the intermolecular and intramolecular association. Other are anionic, such as almond gum, Trahankan gum, Welland gum, and giant kelp extract, which contain both hydroxyl and carboxyl groups. These carboxyl groups promote absorption into cement particles, influencing the structuration of the cement-based systems. These graphs show the viscoelastic and viscoplastic behavior of the cement base containing the biopolymer study. On the left, the storage modulus reflects the strain of the flocculated structure measured solely using oscillatory test. The biopolymer increased this modulus by up to 4 times, indicating a more robust internal structure. On the right, rotational tests show that both plastic viscosity and dynamic gel stress also increase with the biopolymer addition. These improvements arise from water retention mechanism by hydroxyl group and also from particle binding interaction facilitated by the carboxyl groups. This slide illustrates the effective interaction between the biopolymers and the superplasticizer. On the left, the normalized gel stress and the plastic viscosity of the mixture containing polycarboxylate and polynaphthalene-based admixture show substantial increase with the addition of biopolymers. Dynamic gel stress values rise by up to 8 times, and plastic viscosity increased by nearly 40 times compared to the reference mixture. The illustration below show how the biopolymers promote more compact flocculate networks involving water, cement particles, and biopolymer change. On the right, the normalized reedification rate calculated from the slope of the storage modulus evolution over time showed increases of up to 2.5 times when the biopolymers are incorporated. This indicates that the mixture containing biopolymers develop structural strength more rapidly over time, and also is illustrated in the illustration of the figure below. And the figure illustrates how the biopolymer help to control the bleeding. During the applying pressure bleeding test, the water that is not strongly bound within the system is expelled. The biopolymer reduce this expelled water because the hydroxyl groups retain water molecules and limit their mobility, resulting in the lower bleeding systems. However, biopolymer introduce important challenge. They can significantly affect the cement hydration kinetics by extending the induction period and reducing the acceleration phase. As a result, the CSH nucleation is delayed and overall hydration development is slowed, which may lead to reductions in the early age compressive strain. Understanding these effects is essential for the practical implementation of biopolymer in cementitious systems. To evaluate the printability, we conduct a small scale printing experiment using ternary cement, a water to cement ratio of 0.33, and a polycarboxylate superplasticizer and quartz sand. This setup allowed us to assess the real performance of the mixture containing the different biopolymers. Using this printer, we produce 25-layer cylindrical elements at a printing speed of 10 millimeters per second, 2 millimeter offset distance, an extrusion pressure of 20 psi, and a 5 millimeter nozzle diameter. The resulting element measured 100 millimeter in diameter and 50 millimeter in height. Mixture were described according to the biopolymer type and the dosage. For example, 0.5A-0.07 corresponds to 0.5% of almond gum and 0.07 polycarboxylates based superplasticizer. To compare the buildability performance, we measure the variation in the cylinder diameter along its height, a parameter known as a geometrical variation. Higher values indicate a more pronounced deformation. As I show in the graph on the left, increasing the structuration of the mixture containing biopolymer that reduces the geometrical variation, meaning that the cylinders experience less deformation during the printing. This is evident when comparing the reference mixture, which exhibits larger geometrical changes, with the mixture containing almond gum, which maintains a more stable geometry. To evaluate the extrudability, the printed cylinders were sectioned and the cross-sectional areas of the layer were measured, and the extrudability index was calculated to assess how closely the layers matched with the intended geometry and how the consistent the extrusion was. Higher values indicate better extrudability. The results that mixture contained biopolymers produce more uniform cross sections, resulting in a higher extrudability index and a more consistent extrusion. This improvement is attributed to the synergy between the biopolymers and the superplasticizer, which enables both the fluidability and flocculation, ensuring a smoother layer deposition. In general, the biopolymers can improve the overall performance of the 3D printing concrete. Their use support more stable, reliable, and sustainable printing. Selecting the right type and amount is important for achieving the desired results. And as a recommendation in future work, looking ahead, future research should be explore additional biopolymers, evaluate long-term durability, study interaction with printing parameters, and conduct compressing environmental assessment, including the life cycle analysis. This effort will further advance sustainable 3D printing technology. I would like to sincerely thank all the partners and the university who contributed to and support this project.